Hollywood, The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. Johnny's guest host tonight is Joan Rivers. This is Doc Severinsen along with Tommy Newsom and the NBC Orchestra, inviting you to join Joan and her guests, Larry Hagman, Linda Lavin, and Minnie Pearl. And now, here's Joan Rivers.
Stop. No, it's just lovely because I was feeling very blue. It's nice to get a nice reaction because today's my wedding anniversary. I didn't want to, go to work, and it's 14 years. Goes fast, yeah. And it's working out. I don't know how many of you are married and how long, but at 14, I'm happy. I'm not happy. I'm happy. No, in the beginning, you're happy. You run around, you play games, catch me, catch me. We still play catch me, but we walk. It's a whole attitude, Catch me, catch me. Can I catch you tomorrow? Sure. But, frankly, though, after 14 years, I'll tell you, I was thinking today, what am I lucky about? I am lucky because at this stage of the game, I am lucky because I have sex at least once every 6 months, which I think is fabulous. And even luckier when I have it with a partner. But it is... It's my favorite joke. They're all going, what? But part of that goes back, I think, because from the beginning, my wedding night was a disaster. And once something's a disaster, my wedding night, a lot of men smoke after. He smoked during. It was just... I had the nerve to ask him for a match, And I said, get it from the dashboard. This is not the right place. But, well, because you know why? We were both tense. On a wedding night, we both came to the marriage pure. And, I wore a white dress with a black hem, but nonetheless pure. And we tried and tried, and nothing happened. And it wasn't until the next morning that I realized, in my nervousness, I had forgotten to take off my pantyhose. And it was It's a great joke. I wrote that today. But also, I think the reason I don't like to get on my sexual life that much, but who else do you talk to except people out there in TV land? It's one of the reasons I think I have no sex appeal is because I have no bazooms, which is very... Today I went for my cancer checkup, and the doctor said, I think I found a lump in your breast. And I said, that's my breast. Because men like women built, truth. Isn't that true? Yeah. The models have nothing, but don't you like... My friend is Dolly Parton. Bazooms. Her measurements are 52, 12, 19, because nothing grows in the shade. And the men... Yes! The men... And they love women chubby, which kills me because I starve. My friend is also, another close friend, because I have many, many close friends, is Elizabeth Taylor, who is fat. We can talk. That's oh, grow up. This woman is fat. And her own fault. Oh, she eats. Her mouth is like a 7-Eleven store, open 24 hours a day. And it's just, this woman eats. I took her to Jack in the Box. She ate Jack. It was just... And... except, as I said, because you're men, do you like them? See, I don't know what men like anymore, okay? Like, do you like them chubby? Do you like them thin? I'm not with the times. I think if I had to do it again, the two kinds of women that men like the best are nurses and stewardesses. Nurses, they do very well when they get married because they're tramps, and men go, oh, grow up! RN stands for ready now. If you don't know these, oh, sure! And stewardesses, men, you know why the men like stewardesses? Because they're not wearing underwear. It is a whole, oh, yes. And they're always getting men blankets. Oh, let me get you another blanket. Oh, sure. Sit by the window, you see the earth. Sit by the aisle, you see the moon. There is no question. Oh, yes. So, anyhow, our guest tonight, it's going to be a fabulous show. Our guests tonight are Larry Hagman, which is, yeah, is that incredible? Yeah. Incredible. And Linda Lavin and Minnie Pearl. So please stay tuned right after this message of interest.
Hurry, they'll be here soon. And your legs, they look so silky. Are those silk stockings?
No, they're sheer elegance pantyhose, new from Legs. They look and feel like real silk.
Ooh, they're soft and smooth like silk and so sheer and luxurious.
You look terrific.
It's sheer elegance.
Leave it to Legs.
Nothing beats a great pair of legs.
New sheer elegance. Looks and feels like real silk.
I've always been involved with food and wine. My father's French, and I grew up with fine French wines. But I'm not a wine snob. I often serve quality California wines, mostly Gallo Chablis Blanc. It always has great taste, and when you entertain as much as I do, that's important. Believe me, the more you know about wine, the more you appreciate Gallo.
Chablis Blanc, from the winery of Ernest and Julio Gallo.
With or without you.
Yes, and I think the guys in the band wanted to dedicate a song to you tonight for your anniversary.
That-
and our congratulations
Thank
to you.
you.
That's
but,
wonderful.
Yeah, you should have done a nice song for me.
Well,
Yeah, our song is Mississippi Mud. Or how much is that dog in the window we used to dance to? We would dip on earth, you know.
Hey, you get your thrills where you find them, that's all.
And at this age, you're looking all the time. So how are you?
I'm very well. I'm commuting from Las Vegas right now. At this very moment, I'm in Las Vegas at the Hilton Hotel.
Commuting back and forth.
Yes, and
I am going to the other most wonderful spot in the world,
yes,
Lake Tahoe, which
Oh,
I
beautiful.
adore. Yeah, isn't that just fabulous? Yeah. And I'm going up there.
where are you going to be up there?
I'm going to be at Harrah's, and I'm going to be there with Neil Sedaka.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and they say there may be snow, so we can ski, which would be great. We can ski, sing, and do jokes, right?
And also, speaking
We're
of
there
snow,
Wednesday.
when you get to, you're going to Colorado later
Yeah, but
on,
first
I
I'm
heard.
going Wednesday. You have to mention the date.
Well, this coming
This
Wednesday.
coming Wednesday, you have the dates.
That means you'll be having your turkey in Las Vegas.
I'll be having my...
not Las Vegas.
in
Lake Tahoe.
In Lake Tahoe, yeah.
All right.
November 20... Where am I? You have
November
to read it.
26th. Folks, we've got it written down. We don't take chances here. November 26th through the December 4th.
Yes, and then I come home, and then I go to Denver, Colorado.
A great place there, the turn of the century.
Turn of the century again, I can go
December
skiing.
the 18th.
Yeah.
We want to be sure and let
Yeah.
them know about that.
Then I come home for Christmas, and that's it.
And you're going to take Edgar along with you on all of these
He
dates?
meets me weekends. Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, so it's fabulous.
Takes a little of the pressure off, you might say.
Well, when you're a working woman, it's nice to be able to do two things, to work and have a little vacation. Like Linda, who was telling me backstage, she went shopping today. Should we bring her on? Could we? Yeah. Our first guest, I hate when people say, oh, they're a friend of mine from a long, long time ago. But Linda Lavin and I go back, way back to Greenwich Village. We started together, so we are friends for a long, long time. She is now the star, obviously, as you all know, for 5 years of the television series Alice. She's a fabulous actress. She's a wonderful performer. She'll be starring in her first television special called Linda in Wonderland, which will air on Thanksgiving. That's this coming Thursday night, in case any of you are really stupid out there. Will you please welcome Linda Lavin. Just simple, huh?
Well, truly, I wasn't going to wear black. I brought myself an option. Since I'd seen that you were wearing black, I thought I would wear something colorful. Look what I got back from the cleaner.
Oh.
Look what this is a size 2. This I couldn't wear this, so...
Are you going to sue?
I thought I'd just drape it over the chair for a little color. So
Now, they're going to... Now, if you go to the cleaner with that, they're going to say you're very, very evil because you're in show business in your store. They'll say she was in and she complained about our work.
Why I brought it out is to know from you what I should do.
Give it to a dog.
I see.
Give it to a gay dog. So did you shop today?
So of course I did. It was a first day. We've done 7 episodes in a row. Because of the strike, we were late in getting started this season. So they made us pay for the strike, made us work without stopping. We did 7 episodes and finished on Friday. We did 1 episode on Monday and 1 on Friday. In the middle, I went to Washington this week, so I'm a bit tired. And so I'm having a vacation. Today's the first day of my week off. And so I did some shopping.
Now, when you say
my feet
shopping...
don't touch the floor. The furniture's new here.
Just a minute. We have.
You're small. Isn't that a pleasure? Oh, look at your stockings.
No,
oh,
we've got a button to push.
Oh, your stockings are fat. They look like your feet were dipped in blood, and then you put little dots on them. Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
You always were a good dresser.
They're yours. I'll
Yeah.
give them to you.
Now, what did you buy today? Did it come out? What did you go looking for?
Mostly tchotchkes. I went with a friend, and it was just a lovely day to not go shopping for anything, but just to be out on the streets.
Like a real, like during the day, like a real person.
It was like a real person, exactly.
Now tell me
very
about your
lovely.
special, and then we get over and go talking about
Okay.
good things.
No, we're just going to talk about the special,
Okay.
and then I'm leaving.
All right.
The special is on, you said,
Yes,
Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, at 10 o'clock on the other network, which is the network that Alice is on.
All right.
And I'm real excited about it. And as you know, I've wanted to do that for a long time.
Yes.
I started out singing. It's a wonderful show. I'm very proud of it. It was a thrilling experience to work on. It was written by Ken and Mitzi Welch,
Oh, sure, yes.
who are extraordinary. And it came out of lots of meetings, which started maybe about 6 months before we even taped the show. And you know, when you finally have this opportunity, you want to do everything.
So what are you doing?
So I'm
Are
doing...
you singing and dancing and...
So it's very musical. There's a theme in the show, and the theme is about my beginnings, where I came from. It's a chance for me to let the audience, who knows me mostly as Alice, in on who I am, where I came from, what I used to do when I went home from school in high school and did this fantasy number in my kitchen.
But now you started singing. First of all, you come from Maine.
Yes.
Right, which I always used to laugh at that. Yeah, I had a friend from Maine. I don't know why, it always knocked me out. Now, you were singing from, you once told me, when did you start to sing? You told very, very early you started singing.
Well, they tell me that when I was 2, I was singing God Bless America in my crib. Swell.
On key?
What a kid.
Yeah, and everyone had to keep standing up for the nurse to go.
Yeah.
And all through school, you went...
Always sang. Always. Well, when you like to perform and there's music in your home and you come from a musical family as I did, then it's natural to sing if there's pleasure in it and you get pleasure back from it.
But you and I, when we first met in New York, wanted to both be very serious dramatic actresses.
Yes.
Right? No fooling around.
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened to you?
I was just going to say that.
I know what happened to me.
We took the easiest road.
That's...
Well, what happened was I really wanted to do everything.
Right.
What happened to me was that the only auditions I could get to in New York were musical auditions, because you couldn't get a reading without an agent, and you couldn't get an agent without being seen on a play.
Right.
And so there was that catch-22, and you couldn't progress, except if you could sing, you could get to open auditions, you could get to equity calls. And so I started out in musicals, in choruses of Broadway and off-Broadway shows. I did a lot of reviews, and where I met you was when we were both breaking in these acts that we were doing
we were
in the village.
In a place in Greenwich Village where they used to pass the hat and the hat wouldn't come back. Do you remember that? The worst. Let me just stop for a word from one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back. So please stay tuned. Remember that place?
Hi, I'm Shirley Jones, and have I got something to show you. The new Sunbeam Food Preparation Center, the ultimate food processing system, because it's a food processor that slices meats and vegetables. A blender for sauces, a mixer that even needs bread. It can make all this and make cooking fun. Simply amazing. The new Sunbeam Food Preparation Center. Quality you can count on.
This week, Sears gives you super values on velour. Missy velour top pantsuits from the dress department. And velour dresses at Junior Bazaar. Save $7 on each. Easy Care velour top pantsuits, suitable for day or night. On sale now for only $17.99. And at Junior Bazaar, dressy velour, belted and beautiful, only $19.99. Save $7 on styles and colors galore. This week's sale ends Saturday at Sears, where America shops for gifts of value.
Lavin and Minnie Pearl, and I'm talking with Linda. And we spent about 4 years down that place on and off in the village together.
Yes, 2 places, the show place and the duplex.
And the duplex.
Both run by the same woman, Jan Wallman.
Who was incredible.
Yep.
Who found everybody, Barbara Streisand, Woody Allen, Dick Cavett, Rodney.
That's right.
We all went through there.
Yes.
And and you got your agent out of there. Tell that, it's a vicious, how mean you were to me that time.
I was singing the little-known songs of the world in this act, and Joan was also on the bill, and we used to rotate. There were, as all the people that Joan mentioned, Joanne Worley, did you say? And so
Yes.
I was also in an off-Broadway play, and you'd go over to this little club at 11 o'clock and then work till 3 in the morning. One night, while I was singing, Joan was in the back of the room yakking through the whole act. Yakety, yakety, yak, yak, talking, talking. And I finished the act, and I said to her, how...
You didn't
no,
just,
it's
you
hard
said,
enough. It's 50 bucks
me.
a week, and you talking through the act.
Say it how you said it. Listen, it's hard enough. It's 50 bucks. Go on.
It's funny, I don't remember it that way.
Oh,
it wasn't
I
diplomatic. And Joan said, I was talking to a man who is an agent and who was asking me about you. And that man is still my agent, my manager.
He signed you that night. Yeah, see?
Well, actually, it was the next day.
Well, I hope. What was the first Broadway play? Because people don't think of you as a Broadway performer. Well, you went through, I don't know, because they think of you now as Alice in a huge series.
Of course.
You know. What was the first Broadway play you ever did?
The first Broadway play I ever did was a family affair. That was a musical. I was in the chorus, and I ended up with about 3 or 4 little parts. It starred Larry Kurt, Rita Gardner, Shelley Berman, Eileen Heckert, Morris Karnofsky, and it was a wonderful first Broadway show to be in.
And even though you were in the chorus, were you like worried? It was opening night, because I never went through the chorus. I went onto Broadway already as a television personality, so I went on Broadway as a headliner, as a star,
Yes.
whatever you want to call it. You hate those
Yes.
terms. But, so I had tremendous opening night jitters. As a chorus person, do you get just as tense and just as nervous?
Sure. By that time, we'd been to Philadelphia, we'd been to Boston, we'd gone through a lot of changes. Glad it's not Cleveland. And by that, and when you open on Broadway, and it's your first Broadway show, and it's a musical, and your family's coming from Maine, and you're going to get reviewed, and at that time there were 7 papers in New York, and maybe you'll get an agent, and maybe, life will open up for you. You bet you're nervous. That was quite a night for me. I finished, fortunately, all the parts I had to play, little bit parts all through the evening, and then came to the final production number and got hit in the nose by a flying dancer. And had to leave the stage. I was sure it was flattened all over my face, went down to the basement, got ice packs put on it, and then went on out for the curtain call. And that was all I had left to do was the curtain call. Just stayed hidden in Bowden.
Do you remember we also did summer stock together, and somebody came up to you, and we were very young then, and said to you, "You're not going to make it till you're in your 30s because you're a leading lady."
No,
Do
it's
you remember
amazing
that?
what you remember.
Michael Rennie.
Oh.
Yes. Michael Rennie said to you, "You're terrific, but you're not an ingenue, and you're not going to make it till you're 30. And I said, "What about me?" And he said,
You're
leave,
over the hill.
leave off the last 3 words. Until you're 30.
No, I don't remember
But, yeah. But did you have a hard time as a teenager? Were you attractive as a teenager? Were you pretty as a teenager?
No, Joan, you know that
No, I
my
don't know,
experience
Linda.
parallels yours in many ways. You're not alone. We love you because you speak for all of us. But when people said those were the best years of my life, I knew they were wrong. I hoped they were wrong. And I found out they were wrong. Those were not the best years. Those were
Who used to
years
tell
you
you
just
that?
had to go through. Everybody that was already miserable, I guess. It was not at all a happy time for me, and it was. I was eager to get on with my life, to grow up, and to be independent, and to be creative, and to be more unstructured than I felt. I was doing all things that I was studying the piano, and I was trying to fulfill something I thought that I wanted, but I didn't really want to be a concert pianist. I didn't really like to practice.
Yeah, well, that's a hitch there.
So it's real hard to give concerts if you don't know what you're playing. And
now you have a teenage son on Alice. Or close
now I
to
have a
it.
teenage son,
Right.
and he's indeed a teenage son. He's 16.
Yeah, and do you find like any of the problems are similar to what you had, or you feel the generation is so different now?
Oh, I think that fortunately the generation that's come after me and the next is are more in touch with their feelings. They're brighter in terms of awareness. They are more communicative. They are allowed to express their feelings, and they're encouraged to express how they feel.
Yeah, which is true.
And
But you were not.
No, we weren't. It wasn't in the vocabulary. It wasn't in the understanding.
You know, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at you, and so many memories are coming back. And we do have
This
so many
lady used to take
parallels.
me around. You see, what she's not saying is that Joan used to take me around to all her agents and say, "This girl's good," and help her out. And,
Waiting for you to say, "So is she." But you never said.
I thought you were a big timer at that point.
I was our office temporary.
I know.
But all our lives are like. We both married late, and we also dated. You did another thing to me. That terrible man you were dating. He was so short, and you gave him. He used to play handball against the curb. I mean, this guy was just.
He was very nice to you, Joan.
Yeah, but he had a car. It was very nice back. But she always had the dates. All these good-looking men would come down to see Linda. And every time Linda hated somebody, she'd say, "I want you to meet Joan. She's a little chubby, but she's warm." I mean, it was...
I wanted to do something in return for you,
But
doing
you-
all this for me.
But you always...
It never got me jobs. You're taking me around, so what are we talking about?
I was trying.
I got one booking in New Jersey, $25. I got,
yes.
come on.
How do your parents feel?
It seems like a million years ago.
I
We're
know.
talking about people who were
It's
very
only
different
19
people then.
But it's only 1965. I mean, it's only when you it's only 15, 16 years, which is not forever. How do your parents feel? Because I haven't. Because you're a major name now. You're a major. Like I picked up the L.A. Times today,
Yes.
and there was you just gotten a citation for women.
The National Commission on Working Women.
At
yes.
National Commission on Working Women. I thought, oh, it's so wonderful.
Yeah.
To come that that far and have your parents
Oh, yes.
pick up a paper and say, "Oh, she turned out okay."
Oh, yes.
You know?
I think they're very pleased. Yes. Yeah.
Were
It's
they
good for
against
them.
it?
Ever?
Against? In the beginning of your going to the business?
No, never. I was always encouraged to perform, and there was always a sense of well-being about my performing. There was always a pride in my being an actress, and as long as I studied and went to college, that was important. And so I studied and went to college and studied theater all the time I was there.
Right.
I did what I wanted to do, which was to become an actress. So
And
I've
here you
always,
are.
yeah.
And with your own special.
Yes.
And on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Now a word from Ralston Purina Company, makers of Purina pet foods. And, yes, of Purina. And all the other fine products from Checkerboard Square.
'Twas the night of our party, and all through the house, every creature was stirring, thanks to Harold, my spouse. Homemade bowls of Chex Party Mix went down deliciously fast, for my Lavin made batches with an ease unsurpassed. So the party got merrier with toast after toast. Here's to wheat Chex, to rice Chex, to corn Chex, to nuts. And they emptied each bowlful, no ifs, ands, or buts. Then our guests did exclaim as they drove out of sight, "Your mix was a ball, and to all a good night."
A four-letter word for great taste. Starts with an M. Latch. No, it's 5 letters.
Any cat will tell you the word for great taste is meow, as in Meow Mix cat food. Only Meow Mix gives cats the 3 flavors they like best in one package. So Meow Mix is the only cat food cats ask for by name.
Meow. Why didn't you say so?
Only Meow Mix tastes so good, cats ask for it by name.
The jazz great with us on the Tomorrow Show later tonight here on NBC.
Linda Lavin, and our next guest is one of the most beloved entertainers in the country music industry. She's written a terrific autobiography which just started last night, which is fascinating about her. It's called, her name, No Stupid Woman Is She, Minnie Pearl, by Minnie Pearl, an autobiography, and it's a pleasure to welcome her, Minnie Pearl.
Say it
May
once.
I say it?
Say it once.
Well, let me take my glasses off. I just need them to see. Howdy! I'm just so proud to be here.
I'm just so delighted because we meet backstage always at charity things.
I know it.
And I always keep saying, oh, I can't wait to get you back on the Tonight Show.
You're so nice.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know you all had the same problem I did.
Oh.
You and Joan. I didn't know you all had the same problem.
Being the dramatic actress? Yeah, isn't that... She also, in the book, started off totally wanting to be a serious, serious actress.
I know it, and I got more laughs that way than I have since I played comedy. No, I really did. I wanted to be a serious... I used to study and try to be like Catherine Cornell. I thought I kind of looked like her, and I used to wear my hair up in curls when she wore her hair up in curls and then down the back, you know. When she did Philadelphia Story, the calla lilies in bloom again. And I got pretty good laughs. But it wasn't supposed to be that way.
But you come also, again, people know you, people always know people for exactly where they are today, and they think of you as so country and so, you know, funny and howdy kind of thing. And you come from a very close-knit, very respectable, old Southern family, right?
Right, and they never did know where I came from. If I'd been born in a hospital, they'd say they got us mixed up, but I wasn't. I was born in Mama's bed, so I know I belonged there.
Were you the only one?
She did too after it was over. I mean, before it was over. What?
Were you the only one in your family that went to be in show business?
Yeah, I don't know where it all started, except that Mama played piano and sang, and Daddy told wonderful stories. So I guess I was kind of a comedy. See, I sing a little and dance a little.
Yes.
I can do a beautiful rendition of Rainy Days, but then you don't want to see it.
Why, who says?
Well,
if it's like mine.
Oh, no!
Oh, yes. Can we do it?
Well, see, I put on these crazy shows. I wanted to see the world, and I did, some of it. And now I want to stay home. But when I was growing up, you see, I wanted to be in show business, and I didn't have anywhere to go to do what, you know, we were during the Depression. And I joined a producing company out of Atlanta, and I went around all over the Southeast putting on amateur plays. I'd go into a town, stay 10 days, and work with a local organization. And I had this nice lady that would play piano for me. And then I taught these girls to dance, these real bad dances. You want to see one?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Let me over here. See, they had umbrellas and terrible costumes, awful costumes. And they'd come out and they'd say, rainy days, there must be rainy days. The sun can shine always, that would not do. There must be showers sometimes, and they're for the best. Isn't that wonderful? From all over everywhere, people saying, I was in one of those horrible plays one time.
And you were also a beauty contest winner, or loser?
No, loser.
Loser. Close.
Well, I didn't aim to be in that. Mama made me do that, as I say in the book.
But you're very pretty. Without your costume and all pulled together, you're a very good-looking woman.
Oh,
Yes. Oh, yes. So how did you get into the country?
Doc knows better.
No, you're gorgeous.
Oh, and you're nice. I'll tell Boots Randolph.
All right.
No, Joan, I really wasn't supposed to be in the beauty contest, and I knew it. And Mama made me do it because the girl that was supposed to represent the Son of a Ice Company fell down and broke her leg. And you just can't go out and ask just anybody to be in a beauty contest. Mama said, you're going to take her place. I said, I can't take her place. And Mama said, oh, yes, you are. And you know, when Mama says, yes, you are, you do. And I didn't think they'd laugh.
They laughed?
They fell out.
Oh,
They slapped their thighs. It was awful.
They laughed.
I cried that night, and Mama said she didn't know I felt that way. But the Lord knew what he's doing, see. He knew that I wasn't supposed to play it straight, and that's why he let me get hurt, because that's the only way he could show me I couldn't play it straight.
But what did you do that was funny?
I walked out. No, really. See, here were all these real good-looking gals, and they'd come out, and this lady was playing, a pretty girl is like a melon. They'd walk out, you know. Well, I walked out, but the boy that was emceeing the show, he didn't help me. They hadn't told him I was taking this other girl's place. And he was reading off a piece of paper, and he said, and now number 6, representing the Son of a Ice Ophelia Carley, that was my name. And he looked around, he couldn't believe it, see? And then I came in. Well, see, they laughed. They thought it's funny.
And then when you started turning slowly to comedy.
Oh.
Did you find, because you came from a family that was very strict and church-going, when you got into show business, did the morals, as they say, astound you?
You're so cute. No, yeah. Well, it wasn't directed in my direction.
Yeah, nor mine. That's what we can do.
I never will forget. Listen, what y'all talking about when y'all were going around together. When I was at Ward Belmont, it was very, very plush finishing school. I didn't belong there either. I've been more places I didn't belong, including on the stage. There's one leaving in 5 minutes, we can know. Well, anyway, I was at Ward Belmont, and the only way you could get out of this convent-type school, which was Ward Belmont, was to let one of the day students get you out, and then you go with some old boy off the dates, you know. And this girl, she knew I didn't look very good, and she told this old boy I had a blind date, and she said, I was upstairs getting ready to come down, and she said, she's not pretty, but she's real funny. She says funny. And by that time I started downstairs, she said, say something funny. And I did. I tried, because then, you see, I was so stupid. I didn't know that laughter's where it's at.
Oh, and how, boy, I'll tell you that. That's.
And you know, because you're the cutest, funniest thing.
No, you're the cutest, funniest thing.
No, we ain't.
No, and Linda's not bad either.
I'll say that. And Doc ain't bad
And
neither.
Doc's cute.
All right.
Meanwhile, the Tonight Show will return following this word from one of our sponsors. All the cutest, funniest things.
Do you know me? I'm Oscar in A Masked Ball. I'm Norina in Don Pasquale. I'm Violetta in La Traviata. But for my most important role, me, I carry this, the American Express card. It says all that need be said, so I can save my voice for times when it counts. Taxi!
To apply for a card, look for this display wherever the card is welcomed.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Once a child wants to spell, the spell is cast. Speak and Spell from Texas Instruments.
That is correct.
With snap-in modules with hundreds more words for growing minds.
You are right.
Speak and Spell, part of a family of products for richer tomorrows from the Learning Center of Texas Instruments. Because a child's tomorrow is never just another day.
Talking with Linda Lavin and Doc, and of course Minnie Pearl. We started to get on the morals of show business. You're a very moral lady.
Well, yeah. The funny part about it was that when I first came into show business and joined the opera, I thought every man that stepped down on his wife was unhappy at home. And I had to find out that wasn't exactly true. And it did bother me some. And I felt like that the road life, of course, was hard on everybody. And it is. I was on the road 27 years of one-night stands.
Oh.
And it was hard. And I learned a lot quick. And a lot of times I was in a car with 4 men, or 5 sometimes, and I was the only woman, and they thought I was asleep at 4 o'clock in the morning. We had to travel all night because we didn't have any air conditioning in the cars, and we moved at night in the summertime so that it wouldn't be so bad. But I found out that in show business, and I'm saying this for the benefit of all the gentlemen here, in show business, a man doesn't have a half a chance, as a rule, because the women throw themselves at them. And that's not the women's fault. They just find show people attractive, and so do I. And that's all right.
You want to excuse us?
But you are happily married.
I am happily married. I wasn't then.
Oh, well, that's a whole different thing then. Yeah.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And you're married for 33 years.
33 years to the same man, and he's the cutest man. You know, when I started to write this book, Michael Carter came, and we were in my home, our home, mine and Henry's home in Nashville, and he brought a young woman with him who wrote the book with me, Joan Dew, who is, by the way, writing a book for Simon & Schuster now. It'll be out next year. She's a charming girl, darling girl. And I said, I'm not good copy. You know, I have same husband, and I'm dull, sort of, and plenty. And he said, well, maybe it would be interesting to see what you did that, you know, that what's it all about? And then I wanted to talk about the show business that I know and love, the country music business. It's so great. It's so great. I just love it. And all the people. And I just wanted to put it all down, because in 40 years that I've seen the show business of country music, these musicians will tell you, if they ever listen to country music, or Doc will tell you, it's just grown and expanded, and hadn't it?
Yes.
Oh, it's just
marvelous. And I could just tell you name after name after name.
Who have you worked with? Some of them, because you've worked with everybody on Great Ole Opry. Who are some of the people you travel around with on the road that you thought were very special?
The one that most people ask me about is Hank Williams.
Yeah.
And, of course, they want everything. We have Hank Williams buffs that just don't want anything but Hank Williams, and they come to me and they say, what did he say? What did he say? Well, see, we didn't know we were going to have him such a short time. And I didn't more or less mark down anything he said, because I was hoping he was going to be around a long time. And then he was gone at 29, you know. But all the show people are just great. I just finished a special with Glenn Campbell and Tanya Tucker.
Yeah, isn't that nice? Aren't they a cute couple?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're darling. And Loretta Lynn and the Oak Ridge Boys and a whole bunch of people. It's going to show next Monday night, and it's called A Country Christmas. And I know that people will enjoy it, because they sing country songs, of course, you know. And we did it up at Banff, up at the Canadian Rockies, and it was real fun. And so we, see there, country music people.
Now, you've been a success for at least, what?
40.
40 years. And when did you think, because I read the notes they gave me, one time you thought yourself a total failure, which is...
Oh, I think everybody reaches that point sometime, don't they? Didn't you?
I did.
Well, that's early on.
Well, sometimes it comes in the middle. It depends on the progress of your career and how it's going, and what's happening in terms of your own personal growth.
Yes,
too.
but in a career, if you're a household name, you can't say...
I wasn't
you know
a household name. This was before I got Minnie. You see, she came
How did you get Minnie?
Well, she came into my life, I thought, late. Now, I didn't know. I'm like Jimmy Durante. If I'd known I was going to live so long, I'd have took better care of myself. I just loved him anyway. It's so funny. I had ground to a halt. I did this thing for 6 years where I did rainy days and all that crazy stuff, and went around over the country. And they sent me to a place in northern Alabama, and that's where I got Minnie. I stayed with an old funny woman. She was just marvelous. She and her husband. She was 70 and he was 75, and the first night I was there, I had to stay in her home because there wasn't any place to put me, and I was putting on a show in this consolidated school. And I said, well, she just had a whole bunch of funny things she said. But she told me, she said, I've had 16 young'uns and never failed to make a crop.
Wonderful.
You talk about Planned Parenthood. And I stayed in that home for 10 days, and I came away imitating her, not mocking her, but imitating her. And people started laughing at the things she'd say. And then, I'd say quoting her. And then I started collecting country stories and country songs, and then I named her. And then I finally got an audition on WSM. It was real long getting there, though. I worked on it 3 years, and I thought she never was going to evolve as a person. But she has, and she's here.
Oh, and how?
She is fine.
Your sister helped you a lot.
Yes,
in the book I was reading about that, with the material, and tell about how different the material was.
Well,
what you wrote, what
material,
New Yorkers wrote for you.
Yes, my sister Virginia helped me with the material at first, and she would do gentle things like this. I'd tell her about going to a wedding, and I said, oh, the bride looks so pretty. When she come down the aisle, she looks so happy. I don't blame her. I know how long she'd been after it. Me and her started about the same time. She outrun me. And she looked so pretty. She come down the aisle. She had on a dress. It was pretty in the front, but it sagged something awful down the back. Two little young'uns had to come along behind her and tote it for her. Just gentle stuff like that, you see, just chuckles. But when I got on the network, the radio network, the agency in New York said, let's get buffos. When you come out there, don't say howdy, say howdy, and tell them to come howdy back at you. And I didn't much want to do it, but now I'm glad I did.
Yeah, because it's sure worked out.
Yeah, it's worked out.
We'll be back after a brief word from one of our sponsors, so please stay tuned.
Head & Shoulders doesn't have it. Selsun Blue doesn't have it. Only Denorex has it. An extra relief medicine to stop dandruff itch. You can feel it tingle.
All three have one medicine for dandruff itch, but only Denorex adds a second medicine, an exclusive anti-itch medicine many dermatologists recommend.
You can feel it tingle. That's extra relief medicine, and only Denorex has it.
In regular or New Mountain Fresh Herbal, Denorex stops dandruff itch with an extra relief medicine.
The people who make dry dog food work hard to make it different. They add flavorings, colors, different bits and pieces. But this stands apart. Kennel Ration Tender Chunks. Look, ordinary dry, no matter what they add, is hard and crumbly. Tender Chunks is more like meat. Cuts like meat, chews like meat. And that's a difference your dog can taste. What sets this apart from ordinary dry food? Cuts like meat, chews like meat. Kennel Ration Tender Chunks.
They claim is stuck in traffic, and if he's not, he's really going to be shot by me. But, so while we're filling in, Linda, God bless her, has decided to do a number without rehearsing it or anything. So...
saved those leftover dreams. Funny, here's that rainy day. Here's that rainy day they told me about. And I laughed at the thought that it might turn out this way. Where is that worn-out wish
rehearsal, huh?
Thank you.
Now, don't you miss nightclubs?
Oh, no. But I sure like to sing with that band. That's thrilling. Thank you, gentlemen, very, very much.
You wouldn't go back to nightclubs at all?
Oh, I would go, hopefully, forward to nightclubs. I mean, I would not like to go back to the...
well, to where we
the place
worked.
where the tables were that low and the hat never came back. But I loved doing my special so much, Joan. It was such a thrill for me. It was the kind of experience where I couldn't wait to get to work every day because, and Doc and I were talking about it, it was a chance for me to sing all the time, to be with music all the time, to laugh, to use that part of myself, all those colors that I've been so eager to use. And the special, which I'm now going to talk about just for a minute because you've given me the chance, has that in it. It has the joy of that, of performing with music in it. And so this is a great thrill for me and always will be. And yes, I would like to do an act if it could be like my special. Yes, if it could. I like to work with people. I found it, and of course you understand this, very difficult to work alone. It doesn't terrify me, but I'd rather work with people as well. So I'd like to do an act that has other people in it, so there's an exchange in it, too.
What about you, Minnie? Have you worked? Because you work alone. I always look at you and I think I would like to switch and be you. I would love to do country humor. They just stare at me.
I can't let you have Henry.
Well, I won't give you Edgar either. But we could all
you would.
We can get into one big bed and just turn out the lights and see what happens. But now I'd say howdy, and they wouldn't know.
You talking about what I like
working
to wear.
alone. You've never worked nightclubs. You work fairs.
Yeah, I've worked nightclubs. I've worked Las Vegas, and I've worked with Roy Clark, and that's fun. And I've worked some clubs, but I'm not real crazy about that. I like concerts better, you know, just where the country people come and we just have shows. But I don't like the 2 shows a night. Do you?
No.
I'd rather just do one and go home.
I admire very much what you do, Joan, and that's an extraordinary feat.
To do 2 shows a night?
Well, to do 2 shows a night and the pressure of the second show, if the first show has gone well, and then, of course, the challenge of the second show if the first show hasn't.
Yeah, but if the first show has gone terribly and they've all gone, pooh, get
you
out.
Don't want to go out.
You know you can't wait to go back and make up.
I see.
You know, then you can go home and go to sleep and say, the first ones are idiots, the second ones are fabulous. It's when the second ones don't like you that you have to spend 24 hours waiting to be loved.
But you know what somebody said about stand-up comedy, and I think it's entirely true. Somebody said that stand-up comedy, that the spotlight on a stand-up comic alone in that spotlight was the loneliest spot in the world.
When they don't laugh, but when they do.
Oh, well.
Right?
That's playing tennis with a live ball.
What about Grand Ole Opry? Now, you've been associated with them for years. Is it political? I've heard stories that it's very political, but you always hear these things, you know.
No, it's not all that political. Grand Ole Opry is just a lot of fun. It's just a bunch of crazy people. It's called organized chaos. Nobody knows what anybody else is doing, but everybody knows what they're doing. And it's just great. I wouldn't say that it was any political overtones or undertones about the Grand Ole Opry. It's an important country music show, I'll say that. And it's fun. And it's been there 55 years. We just passed our 55th birthday. And I've been there 40 of the years, and they're 40 of the happiest years anybody could have. I was just 2 years old when
And we're back in a second after this station break, so don't go away, with Linda Lavin and Minnie Pearl.
I feel good all under. Know why I feel good all under? My Hanes underwear fits all under. Look, reinforced neck, double seams, and a waistband that doesn't dig in. What comfort. And the Hanes price makes my wallet feel good, too. Boy, do I feel good all under.
Hanes makes you feel good all under.
Good morning.
Now on sale, Hanes Fashion Underwear.
We put our battery on wheels and made it run for its life to prove an important point, that the Rayovac alkaline makes fun last a long, long time. We've already proved our point to a leading toy and game manufacturer, Coleco, who now recommends Rayovac alkalins for their electronic toys and games. Switch to Rayovac Alkaline. Rayovac Alkaline makes the fun last and last and last.
Talking with Linda and Minnie, and just the two of you are wonderful because we just stretched. I don't think this has ever happened on this show
You're
before.
terrific. This is live television.
This is live television, and I'm sorry out there you got the wrong JR, but that's the way it goes. But his wife is back there, so really, at least let's hope he's not shacking up or something. Let's, we're all concerned. That would have been a lovely thing to say. I was at the Tonight Show, haha. But tomorrow night, Johnny's guests are going to be Edie Gourmet. Here, I had to put my glasses for this. Maureen Murphy and Smoke Ring Blower. Okay. Harry Garrison, and I hope Larry Hagman can come back and be with me next time I host this. And you, anytime, you're fabulous. And Linda, wait till you see it tonight. The special is on Thursday, and Minnie's book, Minnie Pearl. Thank you, Doc. Thank you out there for watching. Good night.
American fashions, they're hot and on the move. NBC reports Sunday.